What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. So, as you can see, I'm watching the 268.56 gap fill level on QQ that was created on, what was that, November 9th? Because the SPX gap fill has now filled. The SPY gap fill is filled. DIA, that one had already been filled. That was over here that had been filled. Yesterday, so there was that. And yeah, I want to point this out at the start of the video. So this is loading. So we have a falling wedge slash bull flag formation here loading on the VIX. It is currently forming. I don't think it's going to break out today. I think we are going to end up bouncing on the indices. I'm going to make my case for a bounce here in this video. I was open to the possibility that we would be going lower. But just know that like there's a high probability that we do end up bouncing here. We have gone through all supports at this point, and the last, like, if we break through here on QQ, the next level is going to be down here. Like, that's another $5 to fall down here. That I don't, or $6 here. I don't think that's going to be the case. And if you break the, like, and then you're coming down to 260, I think it's very likely that we get a bounce before we just shoot down to lows. Like, let's just measure this out on the Qs. On the Qs alone, we have fallen $27. On SPY, we've fallen over $30 now. There's like, I'm just saying, there's a very low chance that we end up continuing this fall without having a decent bounce at this point. And I'm going to show you guys in this video where I do think we are going to be bouncing to. But right off the bat, all right, right off the bat, I'm going to point this out. Just so you guys do know, there is a case for us bouncing here. We do have a 4-hour bullish divergence forming here at SPY, on QQQ, probably here on DIA. It's there on DIA. Here on IWM, we have a triple bullish divergence there. And I mean, but here's also the thing, VIX is doing this. But I will also highlight the fact that VIX is giving us off a sell signal or a buy signal on the S&P 500. So it is like, if we do have VIX closing red with SPX here, then you do have an 85% probability that you will have an update on the S&P 500, so SPX slash SPY, over the next 2 trading sessions. So, and that is what I'm going to be betting on. So I was only 5 contracts deep, luckily, into December 23 calls, and I'm just letting you guys know, I did buy more of those, and I'm going to finish off my position when QQ gets its gap fill. So I bought on the SPY gap fill, then the SPX gap fill, and now the QQ gap fill. And what I tell you guys, like, reversals happen off gap fills. That's literally the reason I made the target here on SPY the gap from November 9th. And that's why I made the target here on SPX for the rising wedge, the target number 1 here. Is also the gap from November 9th. Now QQ didn't form a rising wedge. We had this expanding wedge formation here. As you see, we also had this bear flag to form here, and then we end up breaking out explosively to the downside. As you see, guys, it's just a massive move. There was so much money to be made here. Like, I really do hope everybody made a lot of money to the downside. And I also want to remind everyone, guys, we're not going to catch the bread of these moves, all right? We're just getting the meat on the inside. We're getting all the stuff inside the sandwich. We don't need the extra carbs. We don't need the bread. And what I'm saying is, this is our sandwich here, all right? This, I mean, well, let's be real. We actually did catch this. This is we had an olive on top with a needle in there, whatever it's called. A toothpick. We had an olive on top with the toothpick here. So we actually did catch this. We caught this, and then we did catch the top slice of bread here. All right, and then we caught this. All right, we got to catch that, and that is an amazing thing. All right, that is so much money to be made. That is all I'm trying to catch. Right, you don't need to catch the whole move. I do hope people have taken quite a bit of profits off the table. I don't think we are going to be continuing down. And like I said, I am going to make my case here for that in this video. Now, also, you do see we had this falling wedge here, and we did break up to the upside, but then we did fade it off. But I'm serious. I do think we are going to be bouncing. We now also have this very large bullish divergence here on the hourly time frame, which is probably the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing we got going here on the 4-hour time frame. Now that we got this going on the 4-hour time frame, I really would not be surprised to see us reverse right off of this, which is why I'm going to be making my final buy here. All right, and yeah. So I am actually going to be playing. I'm going to be playing. I'm just going to literally buy. I've been buying different calls, just letting you guys know. Whenever I buy, I just keep buying them like whatever's right in the money. So um, when that fills, I might buy QQ calls. I don't think I will, but I'll probably buy SPY calls for this Friday's expiration, and maybe some for next Friday's expiration, just because I think this is like a really supreme play now. Now that we have fallen this much, I thought it was going to be a little play, but I think we're going to get a rather large rebound now that we're getting like a bullish divergence here on all of the 4-hour time frames. Obviously, we have our daily oscillators just so far oversold here, and your stochastic, it did avoid crossing, but I do think with today and tomorrow, I think that is going to cross up. But you have your CCI hinging, which means now, guys, what is the CCI showing us? CCI is showing us that, hey, the selling pressure here is letting up. All right, someone is letting the buyers come back into play here, and I think they are going to. I think they're going to have a decent rally back up. So we're going to talk about levels here in this video as well. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's just run through just the weekly, the daily, the 4-hour, and the 1-hour real quick, and then we're going to talk about where we're likely headed. And I already told you guys, so we're probably going to be reversing off of this gap fill on QQ. Guys, honestly, it comes down to basics. All right, just support and resistance, and gaps act as support, and in my opinion, they act as and I mean, it's kind of fact, they act as pivot points, and you guys are going to see it right here. And I actually can show you guys on SPX. We were just avoiding filling it. We were just literally look, we bounced right on it, and then we came back down, and you can see it on SPY as well. We bounced around it right there. Look, buyers stepped in right there. We were just bouncing all around it. And yesterday it was the same exact thing. We reversed right off of it. By the way, gaps. By the way, this is how you do a gap, guys. All right. If you guys don't know how, you just take the high of day or low of day. Let's say, so on this gap up, you would take the high of day of this candle the previous day, which you can see, guys, right up here. So I'm going to hover over it. You can see it's 381.14. And when you come down back into it, this is where you likely are going to see buying pressure. There's a very strong likelihood that that is the case every time. What just happened? That's pretty dope, guys. We're probably about to get our entry. So let's look at where we are. Look at that, guys. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna buy QQs on these. And I don't know what I'm gonna buy yet. I do not know, actually. I don't know. I've been buying SPY up until now because I was watching SPX, and then I was also watching SPY, but now I'm watching QQQ, and I'm expecting it to reverse off QQ. So is the move to buy QQQ? I don't know. I have no idea. But I don't know. Yeah. But then again, keep in mind, guys, the real play is the like the reversal, all right? Like the, you know, like this is just the counter trend move, and then the real play is going to be this when we do that. Oh, we're on QQ. Let's go on SPY. Yeah, when we come back up here, and then this is where we are going to be. Well, I'm going to start buying back in at the 387.89 gap fill on SPY. Because now that we filled the gaps to the downside on the charts, we've filled all gaps, all of the recent gaps that were created on SPY and QQ now. So now we can start going back up, and also SPX. Now SPY filled its gap yesterday, I believe, and then SPX filled it today. And yeah, dude, guys, this is like this is supreme, all right? It's a trader's market. I'm very excited that I mean, I hope everybody's making a lot of money, because, you know, a lot of money is to be made. I did jump the gun yesterday, but you know what? Today, I do think this is a day where we're just loading the gun, and then boom, we're going to shoot it. over the next few days, and we're gonna have that beautiful. I do not know how long it's going to last, so I'm gonna be conservative on the taking profits portion here. And I'm gonna show you guys right now exactly where I plan on taking profits, because this is where I do think this is where the sellers are going to hop back into the equation. So just like keep that in mind. All right. But I think, and look at that, this is a meaty fall we got going on right here, which means it is probably going to have a decent, like a quick rebound here. But again, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know like which one of these levels we're going to reverse off of. And guys, by the way, I chart on SPY and SPX. SPX I recently started covering here on the channel because I started realizing I probably should, because there probably are people who do trade options off of those, and eventually I will be trading options off of those. But yeah, I mainly cover SPY here on the channel. We do cover QQQ and VIX as well, and obviously, like I just said, SPX, because the charts mainly respect SPY. But as you see, all right, as you see, all of them, that's why we cover all of them. All of the main indices are respected. QQ is NDQ or NDX, and SPY, the main indice behind that one, that is SPX. And you got IWM, it's RTY. That's the Russell 2000. Then you got DIA, and yeah, and then VIX is just, that's the VIX. But yeah, guys, that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be buying on here, and then if we come over here to SPY, it's going to be I do think it's going to be a decent sized move because of what I pointed out already, but we still got to go over what's going on all the different time frames. But I want to get this out of the way so anybody can just watch this. And I'm going to try and make this in 15-minute videos, so you know. But yeah, I do think we're going to come back up here. This is where I'm going to start. I'm going to do this in thirds this time around. Okay, thirds. I'm going to make the biggest buy, though. I'm just going to say it right here. All right, because I do think there's a probable shot that we stop at this previous support, because look at this. If we come over to the 4-hour time frame, this is when, like, I originally I said, like, hey, profits, all right, profits should be taken, because, like, hey, there's a solid chance we come up and back test this rising wedge here, and we did end up doing that like twice. We failed it there. All right, we had this one, we came down, had that one too. Look at this big ass wick from CPI. That was a nice day, very nice day there. That was the entry to all of this, the original entry. Guys, QQ is getting pretty close here, by the way. We got almost within 50 cents there, so I'm getting pretty excited there. That's the last one, and I'm just gonna say right now, I'm probably going to be buying like a little before the actual gap fill. That's just what I do on these. I don't know, like, what if they block it? They probably won't, but what if they do? And I don't know, that's kind of like making sure I'm always like in the red a little bit right before it goes. But and we can go a little past the gap too. We can like do something like this, like say a lot of people try pushing down right here, but this is also where I would expect buyers to come in. So yeah, but yeah, so back to what we were saying right here on SPY. Let's get rid of all this big old mess we got going right here. Let's just go like this. All right, it's either going to be that, if we go down and we break it, we're going to go like that. That was a very sloppy arrow. That's even sloppier. Or we come up and it's like this. That's another possibility. And then we come down and we break that. And I think we're going to have a decent sized move down to this before we pop back up. Yeah, because we are going to form a support if we do bounce here. And I do think we are going to be bouncing around here. Or we come up and it's like that. All right, so it's either, let's get, again, all the scribbles off now that you guys have seen that. It's going to be here, going to be here, or it's going to be here. So right here, right here, right here. You guys see the numbers. All right, that is where I do think we're going to come up, and we are going to, those are the branches we're going to bump our head on. Those are where sellers are going to come back into the equation. But yeah. All right, we're just waiting, and this gap right here, it doesn't have to be filled, guys. It really does not. All right, that's not how, like, gaps, they do act as magnets, and that is where, like, I have personally seen with my personal experience, that is where the opposing team comes into play. All right, that's where buyers will step in this scenario, and if it was an upper gap, that's where sellers will be lurking. All right, and like, that would suck if it doesn't give us that entry there. I'm gonna be butthurt if that happens, if we just start skyrocketing without it, because I've been just watching this just pain here. But you know, it's whatever. It's whatever. But yeah, all right. So now that we got that out of the way, let's just look at the daily charts. All right, let's look at the daily, then the 4 hour, then the 1 hour, and then we'll get on our way. And yeah, because it is at the 15-minute mark, and I told you guys this is going to be a 15-minute video. Sorry, guys, it's not a 15-minute video. Oh well, it happens here. Happens. All right. But you got a big fat red candle, and like props to the bears for pushing this thing down so hard. I thought this thing was going to be letting up earlier than this, but it clearly didn't. But you do have your oscillators hinging up. Obviously, your stochastics, like I pointed out earlier at the beginning of the video, it avoided crossing here. But you do have your CCI hinged. You have your RSI not quite hinged there, and QQ likely looks the same exact way, except CCI is not really letting up here. I don't think it's going to drop much more. You were at a pretty deeply oversold level here at the on the CCI. Look, guys, you just don't get down to these levels. It was all the way back up here when you did end up getting here, and when you did get there, look at it right now. You got here, and you did get a decent sized move. So this is what I'm expecting. Like maybe it's not 3%, but that's an $11 move. All right, I'm expecting like a decent sized move that we come back up here. And like, guys, I'm just saying, like, people expect like TA like not to be as easy as it is, but it is. It's as easy as it is because so many people are watching, and like so many people think, oh, that's too obvious, so it's not going to happen. Well, the obvious happens. That's why we're probably going to reverse off that level. It was the chances were we were going to reverse off that level, or that level. SPY gave us the first initial bounce we had yesterday. That's like if you come back here, you can literally see we went down into the gap fill here, and that's literally where the buyer started stepping in, like I just said. And that gave us a little dead cat bounce here, and we kept going. And now I think we are going to be doing that. And we came over to SPX, and he came down, and there were some buyers that ended up stepping in here at this one, but I guess they're doing it for the NASDAQ, so that is going to be the case here. But yeah, look at the 4 hour time frame. We'll just cover this in the hourly time frame, and it's like a picture. Like it really is pretty perfect of a picture, and that's why I say, like, people think it's, oh, that's too obvious. Yeah, it is too obvious, but like that's why it's going to work. All right, like look at this thing. It's a clear as day like buy right here, right into this zone, right in that level, right in the gap fill. It's the same picture you got on SPY here on the 4 hour time frame. It's the same thing you got now on SPXU also, which this is just unseen. All right, look at that thing. You have a 4 hour bullish divergence there, and now we're gonna flip it to the hourly time frame here. And you have just a big fat bullish divergence going on the hourly CCI here on SPX, and it originally was a bullish divergence. Now it's just a very big one though. That's chill. And you do see your RSI it's in the oversold territory. This is where it's at 25.73 on the hourly RSI here. And I mean, it can go lower, as you can see, it can go lower, but every time we do get into this range, you do relatively soon, you see a bounce. All right, over here, you got out of it, you came right back into it, but you had this very big bounce here. You went from, it's just a decent sized move here. All right, I mean, 2%, but still, if we had a 2% move right now, that would still be, that would still be a what, $7 to $10 move on SPY. That'd be pretty cool. It would be pretty cool. And like I told you guys at the beginning of the video, I'm going to be conservative with my profits here. I'm going to be taking them right here at 387. The vast majority of them, that's where I'm going to be taking them. Maybe I'll save some for this zone right here. But other than that, yeah, no, I'm just going to be out. This is just icing on the cake. That's how I like to look at it. And look at that. We are going right into that gap fill. Maybe we'll see it live here on the video, but probably not, because we are going to be signing off in a sec. But also here's the thing, VIX is looking like this, so that is also something to be noted. VIX is in a very perfect looking bull flag here. All right, you got that, and then breaks out, goes like that. But with how the indices are looking, and like you got a lot of things suggesting you're going to be getting this bounce. All right, a lot of divergences going on. You have clearly have your daily oscillators in deeply oversold territory here, so you have room to make that bounce. And like I said, or like Johnny Bravo said, you're going to hit every branch on the way down. You're not just going to fall out the window. You're going to fall out the window, and then you're going to bounce or you're going to hit every bounce, or you're going to hit every branch on the way down. And some of those branches are going to make you bounce, and then you're going to bounce up, and you're going to hit your head on some of those other branches that you broke right through, and there you go. And then you're going to resume your fall back down. And the ultimate branch to be broken is down here at this level, and I think it's going to be something like this. Maybe that gives you a bounce and then you go lower. I don't know. We're going to have to see. Maybe that'll be the ultimate bull trap. Will be double bottoming right here at this level. You go like that. That would be so funny, guys. But either way, we'll be watching our radar, our oscillators, when we approach those levels, so we will not be psyched out. And as you can see, Mara is starting to bounce. I hope it gets as low as possible, because whenever I think the market is bottoming, I'm gonna make a decent buy on Mara shares, and I'm just gonna ride it up. Because say it gets down to this level, right? 350. All right, let's say when the market bottoms is at 350, maybe it goes a little lower, but when the actual market bottoms, it's at 350. You could put 10 grand in here, and by the time it gets up here, the 10 grand will be 45 grand, because you will have a 355% gain. That'll be pretty cool. And if you have like 50 grand to put in, there you go. Your 50 grand just went up 4.5x. That would be pretty cool. To just sit back and relax while that happens. And there's a chance it even comes like all the way up there. Like maybe it does something like this. And maybe Mars at $3 when it happens, and it comes all the way up to $18. That's a 6x, so 500% gain on your money. 50 grand makes, so it turns into 300k. That's so cool, guys. Then what can you do? You could just buy a house. You literally, it's so quick, and it's going to happen very quick, just like this. Like this took how many trading sessions to get up there? 30 trading sessions. So a month and a half. You just had to hold. You had to put 50k down here and just hold for a month and a half. And it gets up there. So we'll say you hold for 2 months and it gets up there. There you go. That's a house. So there you go. That's how I'm looking at this. I'm getting real excited about it, but I didn't think Mars was going to fall as much as it is. But maybe there's a chance we get to buy it in the twos. I don't know. Hopefully we do, because that'll be really cool. Because I'm gonna, that's my plan. I don't know what you guys plan on doing, but all right, that is the video. Sorry, it's not a 15-minute video. It's a 23-minute video. So typical video from, Trader Henry here. So I will catch you guys. Peace.